Elvis Tennant here again. 50 years of martial arts stories. I want to shout out my son, Billion Dollar Visions. Go check him out. I want to shout out my main man, Banky Pound, a prison channel where he does 33 years of prisons, but he's speaking knowledge to try to keep the youth out of prison, because prison is not any place you want to be. Free Young Thug. It's 1974, probably about March. So we're having these what's called shanais. These are like little school tournaments where one school will go to another and we spar with that equipment, that kendo equipment with the face mask and the chest protector. You wear a cup and you'd have the kendo gear. So you're just going all out with karate. But what I was used to, because how I came up with my friend Dennis, we fought with karate. So it really wasn't that much of a transition for me, except that you could really blast and not hurt somebody, so you could really, badly, but he'd be shook up, with those punches and kicks. So anyway, like I told you, my instructor, former Marine, 10-year man, about 5'5", about 210, 220, and he was associated, I don't know how all it is, somehow he was associated with the Mongol motorcycle gang. I think he was actually a member, an associate or something, but he was a little mysterious that way, and had told us a few of his war stories. So he was a thorough guy. And anyway, there was a former Hell's Angel, and he said, I want you to blast this dude for me, because the Hell's Angels and Mongols had a thing. You may remember, this is 74. I think the thing they had was around that time, but those of you that know, there was a rivalry between the Hells Angels and the Mongols. So this former Hells Angels came in. Now he's about maybe 180. Keep this in mind. I'm 5'7", 5'8", 135, 140. He's probably 180 and probably about 5'10". So he had some size on him. And you could tell he was a rough and tumble dude. He probably had a lot of street fights and was moving with the karate. So anyway, we get out there, and he comes in. He comes in kind of hard. I pop him, but after I pop him, I had to pay for it, because he came in and drilled me with some serious body shots, just rushing and overpowered me. And so I knew he was very strong and very aggressive. So we get back up. He tried the same thing again. I kept, backing away. He tried the same thing again. I caught him with a side kick coming in. So as I caught him with a side kick coming in, I'm getting my timing, because he's kind of like spastic, coming at me all hard. And so he was swinging. He never really caught me in the face flush. He kind of nicked my face a couple times, but he did get some really good body shots. I got some really good side kicks, like on a defensive, backing up side kick. And I was trying to set up that spinning back kick. So I kept acting, as he would come in all hard, I would act like I'm going to take a step back and then drill him with the side kick. So he started falling for that, and I kind of started getting my timing on him. And I started, as he would come in again, I pop him 2 times in the face and then spin off. And so that kind of was helping me get out of the way of this frontal attack. So the way it ended, I was doing a side kick, and he rushed in, and he caught me with a very hard punch to the stomach. And then as we moved around again, I did the side kick as I'm backing up, and he thought that was it. But then I spun, and he ran right into a spinning heel back kick. So the heel of my foot hit him right in the solar plexus, and through the equipment, he was like, because the wind was knocked out of him. So I knocked the wind out of him. My sensei was just so happy, and after the match, he was just congratulating. He loved me for that. I mean, and I felt really good, because it was intense, and we celebrated, and I became, you know, like his favorite student after that. The little 15-year-old boy, he was like trying to, you know, kind of suck up to me then too, because of the respect factor, and he knew he wasn't really in my league at 15, talking about I'm only 15. I was like, bitch, I'm only 17. I didn't say that, but you know, that's what I was thinking, because I was only 17 at that particular time. But so it was good. That was the Hell's Angel fight, and so we had several fights like that. And then the sensei that was the Mongol, he no longer became the sensei, because the sensei of the school, like the chief instructor of the school, 6th degree black belt John Bartasevich, he came back from Okinawa and took over the school. And you know, we had the same guidelines, so he took over the school, but we still kept the Friday night fights, and the students just transitioned because it was the same style, same thing. I never saw the guy who was a Mongol. His name was Sensei Heffernan. I never saw him again, but it was an easy transition with John Bartasevich, because he was the same type of guy. He was a warrant officer in the Marine Corps, came up through the ranks, was a Vietnam vet, and also a hand-to-hand combat instructor. Now keep this in mind, back then the hand-to-hand combat in the Marine Corps was Okinawan karate. So it was one punch, one kill. You really are doing that stuff. So anyway, when he came back, he kept the same thing going, and Heffernan had told him all about me, and so he and I, you know, liked each other immediately, and he could tell I was a highly motivated, extremely dedicated student. Had a key to the dojo, and would go in and work out a half hour before class. I would kick, side kick, one leg, half hour, the other leg, half hour, kick, and that bag just be going, and I would just do that before class. So that side kick got really vicious, because I followed Bruce Lee's advice. I fear not the man who can do 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who can do one kick 10,000 times. So that was my goal, to get 10,000 kicks in. And I know I've done it throughout my 50 years. So anyway, we kept the Friday night fights going. And my next big fight that I remember, I mean, it had several skirmishes where, you know, some I can't even remember, but we would do that. We would fight like that. You know, I'd still spar the 15-year-old, but I wasn't trying to blast him. I would just kind of work with him and work with some of the other students, because I was never like a bully type guy. I want to fight somebody that I think might be better than me, because that's how I came up. Dennis was always better than me, so we were like right here. He'd go up, I go up. He'd go up, I go up. And that's what I like, is real competition, to build myself and make myself better. So anyway, we continue with the Friday night fights. My next fight was the big fight I remember was against this guy they call Monster Man. And so I'm going to tell you about that next time we talk.